I am recording this on my phone, so I apologize if my audio doesn't sound great. I'm also not used to doing this, so I apologize if my speaking isn't very good. But anyway, let's get to the theory. So, people say Kane is responsible for all the weirdly aggressive moments towards the characters that show up in the adventures in the Amazing Digital Circus, such as the spirits possessing Pomni saying, "How's your wife, Kinga?" mockingly. Now, a lot of people say that Kane is the one causing weird things like that, and that he's like directly targeting Kinga and maybe even Zubul with the limb straightening out thing when they hold their breath and therefore they can't walk out of the hell room. Um, but I don't think that's right. I don't think Kane is the type of person to do that. Kane does genuinely like the humans in the circus. He has been shown to genuinely care about them in his own way that he's capable of doing. Kane is an AI. He can only do so much. He can only understand human emotion so much. So he's the antagonist, but I don't think he intends to hurt anyone. And if he does, it's usually caused by a lack of awareness. He's very oblivious, because as I said, he's very unaware of humans and their social needs as well as other things like that. But basically, what I'm saying is, if he does hurt people, it's due to a lack of awareness, not intentional malicious behavior. I don't think he's ever intentionally tried to hurt anyone that I can remember. And if he does, he doesn't realize just how much that actually hurts them because again, he's an AI. Like the escape the circus episode scene in the beach episode, for example, that did emotionally hurt all the characters because they thought they could escape. But to Kane, it was all just in good fun. He didn't realize that he was emotionally hurting them because he just can't understand that because again, he's an AI, not human. So he's been shown to say nothing genuinely malicious, which is why the "How's your wife, Kinga" line really sticks out to me because that is like targeted and cruel and horrible and not something I could see Kane doing. Kane, I don't think has shown any direct intentional hatred towards Kinga in the show that I can remember. He's like messed with him in ways. It seems like he's probably caused his mind to break, maybe, or at least he definitely knows about the light and how that causes him to forget. That's definitely something he does know. Um, but I don't think he hates him. I don't think he wants him to suffer or anything. Um, but yeah, that line is like it targets him. It targets Kinga, and it would hurt him emotionally quite a bit. I imagine, being reminded that your wife's dead and you may be responsible for it if some of these theories are true. But who does say weirdly cruel, malicious, and out of pocket things? The Bubble.
You should die. You should throw a beach party.
Why do you swear now?
Bubble says weird stuff all the time. This little demon says weird things, so weird that even Kane can be caught off guard.
An entire kingdom of candy sounds sticky.
Very sticky indeed.
Sounds.
Bubble, you can't say that.
And it's been shown to have some degree of control over the circus, like making food for the players in the first episode, as well as choosing to send the characters to Stripper Town if they picked the bad ending. There's a theory I've been seeing going around that Bubble might be a virus infecting the game. I don't know the details exactly because I'm not familiar with computer viruses and computer programming and stuff, but it's something like the Bubble Void virus, and it's a pretty big deal. It's like an old one. And I think it could infect your computer. You don't even need to open up the file. You just need to open up the email, and that's it. I think something like that. Um, so I think that's an interesting theory, and I like it a lot because Bubble is a very weird character. I've always thought Bubble was very out of place. He doesn't really do much in the show. He's kind of just there, I guess. I don't think he assists Kane all that much. He does things that I think Kane probably could do, like stopping the water leak. Like Kane could just click his fingers and that would stop that. But instead he gets Bubble to do it, and the food as well. I think Kane could have just made that. Um, So as far as I remember, there's nothing that Bubble really does that Kane couldn't do on his own. And he always reminded me of those animated kids movies where a character is given an unnecessary sidekick that doesn't really do anything, but it's just there to be funny for the kids. That's what Bubble reminded me of. Except Bubble is actually funny. So, um, but I believe Gooseworks has stated that the Amazing Digital Circus is going to have a twist rose quartz or slash pink diamond moment, a big reveal, and some people think that moment may have been the twist of episode 7, but I disagree. Um, People seem to think Kane deliberately caused characters to abstract, and while that possibility isn't off the table, I don't think if he did do it, he wasn't doing it to be cruel. I think we're pointing fingers at the wrong guy here. I think we're blaming the wrong character. So my theory is that the twist is going to be that Bubble is the one to cause the abstractions and is affecting the game and possibly even affecting Kane in ways he doesn't realise. So he may have caused abstractions, or at the very least one important abstraction, and that's Queenie, Kinga's wife. If the theories that she's a bug tester for the game are true, she would have been able to see Bubble for the virus that he really is, and therefore warn everyone that, hey, this is a virus, this isn't just like an NPC that Kane's made, this is like a genuine virus affecting the game. So in order to keep eyes off of him, to keep himself safe, I think Bubble may have caused her to abstract. Because I always thought it was weird that Queenie would abstract. Queenie and Kinga being together in the circus, I imagine, would make things more tolerable. Like, it would be, I feel like you'd go less. I mean, it's not impossible, obviously, but I feel like you're less likely to go insane if you're with your partner who can talk to you and comfort you and make you feel better, and also you'd want to be there with your partner. Obviously, mental health and all that, if abstractions represent mental health, that's more complicated in real life, but from a storytelling perspective, I think it's just odd that Queenie would abstract in a storytelling perspective. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's supposed to be something we're supposed to find odd. So it's possible that she was abstracted by Bubble. That Bubble may have pushed her into that. Yeah, just to hide his identity, really, if she was a bug tester. So Bubble causing Kinga's wife to abstract would also explain the "How's your wife, Kinga" line and why it's so targeted. Because he's responsible for what happened to her, and now he's rubbing it in Kinga's face. But Kinga doesn't even realise it because his mind is so broken and gone. So yeah, I think that Bubble might have more control over the circus than we realise. I think Bubble might be more cruel than we realise. I don't know if, in this theory, if Bubble is actively, again, if he's actually like a sentient being trying to cause harm, or if he is just a virus, and maybe you could tie the whole NPC Chinese room thing in with that themes, and maybe Pomni like gets to him that way. I don't know, and that's how he becomes good. But I think Bubble is more of a threat than we realise, and I'm scared of him. But also I realised like before I was gonna have a shower, I was about to get in the shower, and then before I even got in the shower, I had the shower thought. It's like I was like, Bubble could very well be the devil on Kane's shoulder, right? Like pushing the game to get darker and crueler, like making up the bloody butcher game and all that stuff, and adding the guns to the to the candy game and all that stuff. And it's like he's like the devil from the Bible. Cain, Bible, Abel, Adam, Eve. Cain and Abel, the sons of Adam and Eve. Cain committed the first murder. Death only existed on Earth because of the devil disguised as a snake, talking with Eve and convincing her to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, causing God to be enraged and banishing them from the Garden of Eden. Bubble is the devil, the greatest trick the devil pulled was tricking the world into thinking he doesn't exist. Bubble is the real threat here! Ah!